Alright, so I decided to go ahead and get a video of this, because right here we have my new, well, we got a few weeks, about a month ago now probably, well, almost a month ago now probably, but my newish Modern Industries mechanical bell. Thought I'd give a quick walk around of it. Show what it looks like. The door on this guy's rather stiff, so that's why he's already open. I also got my Western Collins mechanical bell so I can compare it later, and also my Western Collins electronic bell. I'm also going to hook up later, so display and sound all three of my working bells at once. Right here, of course, the Modern Industries mechanical bell. Of course, nothing really too much on the front, kind of your typical rain shield. Then you got the bolt holding on the gong, which is a bit scraped up from where it hit the ground. But it still works, so that's good. Right there's the base, which I'll get to that in a minute when I go over the differences and similarities between the two bells. And then we've got the door on the bell. As you can see, there's the Modern Industries logo, and there's the embedded latch. Unfortunately, this door is real stiff, unlike this guy where it easily moves. I'm kind of already comparing them to, but this guy is real stiff, probably due to being out in the rain a lot. So I might put some WD-40 on the hinge. I can move it, but I have to do that with two hands, and it's still rather hard to move. Then right here we've got the information on the bell, wiring diagram and the like. You can see up there it says Modern Industries, and someone could probably actually look up where this company was located. Right there, as you can see, there's the date, October 28th, 1986. Not sure if that's the manufacturing date or the date that this guy was installed, but because this guy was installed at State Street in Hackensack, New Jersey, on the New York Susquehanna and Western Railway, which I got from that railway for free because they were replacing this crossing, the crossing this bell is on, and I was there in time to speak with the with the manager of the signal maintainers who were installing the new signals, and he let me have this bell for free. Right here we've got the innards of the bell. As you can see, there's Modern Industries logo on the electromagnets, and right there's also some technical information. As you can see, it has 5 ohms of resistance. Not sure what T1350 and number 20 mean, but this part up here is mostly metal. There's a little bit of plastic like right here that appears to be for insulation purposes, but it's metal. Probably like the older Western Collins mechanical bells. Then we've got where you can adjust the speed of the bell, plus a 6-position terminal block, with positive and negative being the lower 2 positions there, positive on the left, negative on the right. Then you've got something right there, I think it might be some kind of piece right there, along with a few other pieces. Not entirely sure what those are. One of them says 350 ohms on it, though, the brown one. And then you also got the old wiring, which I still have in this bell, sticking down to, going down through the bottom there, where it connected into the rest of the signal. And then we've got but not really too much talking about this bell, except now we can compare it to the Western Collins mechanical bell that I have right over here, the WCH 0333 mechanical bell. And yeah, for those who don't know, I do a lot of stuff on the fly. But as you can see, there's a few major, from the front the bells look pretty similar. I mean, other than the fact that the Western Collins mechanical bell, you can see the latch sticking out to the side, and you can't on the Modern Industries mechanical bell. But the base looks very similar to the older Western Collins mechanical bell bases, though I'd have to compare my pictures of them with this. But I think the older ones are kind of like the wider part on the newer base, where it's got the rounded bottoms, whereas this one does not. And plus, Western Collins mechanical bells just have at least on newer ones, have the part number stamped on there, whereas this one has it cast on. The bolts are pretty similar. They're both appear to be 1/2-inch hexagonal bolts holding it on with a washer right behind them. The rain shields are also pretty similar. Looking at them a bit more closely, the Western Collins mechanical bell one appears to be a bit longer and the curves are more noticeable than on the Modern Industries mechanical bell. Then if we go to the top of the bell, an interesting difference I've noticed is that the Western Hayes mechanical bell, as you can see, you got the 3 bolts holding on to the rain cover, but the top of the Modern Industries one has 4 bolts. You've got the 3 bolts holding on the rain cover, of course, and then right here you've got a bolt with a square nut on it, surprisingly. That appears to be where you could put oil into the bell without having to open the door. Now, of course, when you go to the door, looking at the backs of them, you've got the major difference, of course, is the fact that the latch on the Modern Industries door is embedded in the door, whereas on this one it sticks off to the side. And also a bit of an interesting difference is the fact that the Modern Industries mechanical bells, the bolt for the latch is in the door, whereas the bolt for the latch on a Western Hayes mechanical bell is on the bell body, I guess you would call it. Then we've got the inside of the door with, other than the positioning of the latch, nothing really too different. It appears that the Western Hayes one, whereas Modern Industries uses what appears to be a rubber seal, a rubber gasket, the Western Hayes one uses a fabric gasket. And of course the part number is also located in a different spot. Right there it's cast underneath the latch on the Modern Industries. On the Western Hayes one it's cast near the hinge. But getting to the internals, I've heard that internally the 2 bells are pretty similar. I'm not entirely sure how true that is. Here's a look at both bells from the back. Of course mine's also a newer Western Hayes mechanical bell. Some new old stock, that is, so it might also just simply be due to the fact that the Western Hayes mechanical bells changed a lot since it might have been being made in 1986, or at least whenever Modern Industries started making these bells. As you can see, there's Modern Industries, there's Western Hayes. A few differences I've noticed are the electromagnets, of course. Now, as you can see, there's the Modern Industries ones, the labels. Western Hayes ones lack those labels, instead they have 2 just kind of square spots on them. And they also appear to be taller than a Modern Industries one. And Western Hayes' terminal blocks have half as many positions on the terminals on them, whereas, because you can see the Modern Industries has 6, Western has 3. And then of course you've got the slight differences in the bell positioning piece, bell speed piece. I mean, they're pretty similar, and some of the angling's different, and the Western Hayes one isn't nearly as tall, though looking at that piece there makes me think it was originally taller, which won't surprise me. And of course, I mean, there's also the obvious difference of that being metal, whereas that's plastic, but that's kind of to be expected since older ones did use metal. And it appears that some of these electrical components in the bell, the Modern Industries ones, they're kind of all just set right there, right above the terminal block, all evenly spaced out, whereas on the Western Hayes, one of them is overlapping another, though at the same time it also does appear that there are slightly different pieces, as this one has a yellow piece along a wire, whereas this one, it appears to be connected into, this orange piece appears to be connected into the brown part. But that's kind of all the internal differences. As you can see, they've got pretty much, for the most part, they've pretty much gotten the same internal setup there for the bells. But yeah, also I rang the 2 earlier to test to make sure the wiring for the Western Hayes mechanical bell worked. I actually noticed the Modern Industries started before the Western Hayes. So yeah, I'm going to record the next, probably also then record the front and then come back here, record the back, and show the 2 mechanisms operating at the same time. So yeah, that was the tour of my, that was the walk around of my new Modern Industries mechanical bell with a look at with the comparison to the Western Hayes mechanical bell that I have. Over and out.